Arcadia Sun. The
Hi guys, the God is here. So I'm starting something new. I'm pretty excited about this. I wanted to do this, but I wasn't really like sure people were interested. But I got some good feedback on the idea, so I decided to start with it today. I'm starting my zodiac astrology series. It'll be more than one video. And my goal with doing this is just to give people or give, anyone who's interested an understanding of their full zodiac, not just their sun sign. And just to give a simplified understanding of it. I don't want it to be too complicated because zodiac and astrology, it gets pretty deep, when you get into the origin and history and symbolism and science, and it gets really deep, but I'm just trying to focus on spreading the awareness of natal charts and birth charts, and just explain to people why this is important, or why I feel like it's important that you know these things, and also to help you interpret your chart. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. I have notes here, y'all, because listen, I will ramble, okay? And we will never get through this. That's why I'm not doing this live. I said I cannot do it live because I would never get through it. And I wrote, typed up notes just so I can kind of stay on topic. I am going to do my best, and hopefully this video is not too long. I have a few of my zodiac books here, astrology books. Okay, cross your fingers. So this video will be just an intro or an overview of what I'm going to later break down into individual videos in the series. Right? You feel me? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking. So, just a little background for me. I think I kind of started out like most people with horoscope. Like, I remember my mom had this statue, this little thing of her zodiac on her dresser when I was growing up. And I always liked it. I always, noticed it and looked at it, and I remember asking my mom what is this? And she explained to me, oh, that's her sign, and she's a Libra, and telling me that what my birthday meant, and what the date of my birthday and what my sign was, and I have a lot of memories about it because my mom was really into it. I don't think she's as deep as I've gotten, but at the time she was pretty interested, because I remember we used to get the magazines, or she had magazines come to the house, and in the newspaper and everything, she always be oh, let me read my horoscope. Y'all remember y'all, let me check out my horoscope. My mom was always doing that, and and then I read mine, but I was a kid, so none of that really had anything to do, made any sense for my life, because it was always about men. But anyway, that's one of my earliest memories. And also my mom always complaining to family and friends about us by our signs, because my older brother, me, and then my sisters, the three of us, we're 2 years apart. All three of us are Capricorns. And I remember hearing my mom say, these Capricorns this, these Capricorns that, they think this, they like that, complaining about us and referring to us by our zodiac. So I remember those are my earliest memories. So, and then as I got older, I started to read reading horoscope in the magazine and stuff. And then when I got I actually got a book on it. I used to be a book nerd, and I always liked to read and stuff. And I got a book on astrology at the library once. I don't even remember what the name of that book was. I was probably 12 or something at this time. I don't even remember, but yeah. And ever since then, I just always was interested in it. And then I studied astrology in like college for a little bit, not long. So most stuff that I know, I just done my own research and learned. I'm not an astrologer. I think you have to definitely go to school for that, and I didn't. So I'm not an astrologer. I'm self-taught, self-made. No, shout out to Nipsey. Listen, let me stay focused. I don't want to. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so my goal is to help people understand their natal chart and to be able to interpret their natal chart. So that's the goal. Okay. So life. Okay, life is like a journey of self-discovery. Life is a lot of things, but one of them is a journey of self-discovery. And one of the most vital forms of knowledge on the journey of self-discovery is understanding your zodiac and your natal chart. Okay? Well, how they say like know thyself and stuff. I think this like astrology is a great way and a great intro to that path. Okay? Of deeper understanding of life and self and all those things. And I think like we all go through life with like, just self-discovery, like who am I, and I feel like most fitting statement for that is as above, so below. And that kind of just sums up it for me. So at our moment of birth, when we come through the stargate, okay, we are star seeds, we come through the stargate, okay, and at that exact moment, we have the sun, the moon, planets, okay, you have the stars or constellations. All of those components are in a certain position, longitude, latitude, and all that, in a certain place. You feel me? Like if you were to take a camera, a lens, and you were looking at your birth down here, and then you just kind of flipped it up, okay, or like a telescope rather, so you can see into the solar system, and you took a picture of that, that's your natal chart. But now there's a translation and then an interpretation of that translation that explains your characteristics and details your personality. And everything in existence, everything has an energy. Everything gives off a frequency. Everything gives off a vibration, living or non-living. The planets, the sun, the star, they all have an energy. They all have a characteristic. They all have a personality. They all have an energy, which you inherit, okay, when you're born. To, try to explain that. And this is at the very core of who you are, okay? This is void of all other factors. And genetics, upbringing, influence, culture, race, sex, nationality, tradition, education, history, miseducation, environment. Before all of that, this is who you are. You know what I'm saying? The core. You in the raw, if that kind of makes sense. And also, there's like a direct correlation with things that are taking place between planets and energies and the sun and the moon and all these aspects. There's a direct correlation to what's happening above as to like things that are happening in your life as far as like death or marriage or these events and experiences and even meeting certain people. It's kind of like a mirror, you know what I'm saying? So like one of the most empowering things is to understand ourselves on this level, to know ourselves on this level, In your natal chart, and so it's like a personalized map. It's a personalized like map of how you should maneuver and what directions you should go in. It just provides guidance and like insight, on a very, very deep, undoubtful level. You know what I'm saying? And it'll answer like most of the questions that like we all have at some point in our life. Like, why am I unfulfilled in my life? You know, we've all had that experience, or discontent with my job. Why am I unhappy in my relationship? You know, the things that we all like. Why am I not good at this? Why am I good at that? All these questions that, you know, just we all have had once or twice. Astrology, you know, can give you great insight and even answers to these questions. So if you don't have any knowledge of that, of your astrology and your natal chart, it's like you're blind almost. You're just born, you're put on this road, and you're not given any type of map or any type of comprehension of signals. Just almost blind, just going through like blind, and it's kind of like trial and error, and that's how we all live. We make mistakes and learn lessons, and we'll do that because we always have free will, but the astrology will definitely just give you guidance. And that's why I really am passionate about it, and I really think it's so important. I think it's so empowering, and why I chose to say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to put videos out because I really feel like there's so many zodiac videos out there, but, you know, everybody will explain it different, and some people will understand, you know, things in a certain way from a certain person than as opposed to somebody else. And they might not have understood, you know, from somebody else. So, yeah. Okay. So, the natal chart consists of your sun sign, which this is the sign that's most popular. Everybody knows their sun sign. Oh, I'm this sign. So, your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascendant or rising sign, okay? And then you have planets in certain houses, and I'll break that down, you know, as I go on. But and then your planets at certain degrees, and the aspects that all these like different combinations create, okay? So hopefully I can assist in the interpretation of it, like understanding how these, you know, factors interact with each other and how that shapes your life and different aspects of your life. So just a little setting, just to give you a picture. Okay, we're gonna go back to science class a little bit. I love science. Shout out to my 8th grade science teacher, Mr. Morrison. He made me love science. Okay, that's beside the point. We exist in a universe. Okay? Yes. Well, this is not a universe, but this is Earth. Whatever. See, yeah, sometimes we exist in a universe. We exist in a universe. It's endless, it's boundless, it's infinite. Okay? This universe. Okay? That's it. That's what we know. As far as we know. In the universe, there is galaxies. There are many galaxies. I forgot the number. Doesn't matter. There's many galaxies. We exist in the Milky Way galaxy. You should remember that from science class at some point. We were taught about the Milky Way galaxy. And I remember that because I remember seeing the candy and I was like, oh, this is the Milky Way candy, like the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, whatever. And I'm such a nerd. Anyway, guys. I remember that. And I was in the store with my grandpa. Okay, anyway. In the universe, there are many different galaxies. Okay? We live in the Milky Way galaxy. In the Milky Way galaxy, there is trillions of stars. Millions, billions, trillions, and whatever comes out the trillions of stars. You see, you know what I'm saying? Okay? The biggest star, or brightest star, if you will, is the sun. Okay? The sun now, okay, has its own solar system. Okay? And then this part is from Google, so I'm going to read this. The solar system is the gravitational bound planetary system of the sun and the objects that orbit it. Of these objects, the largest are the 8 planets. There are smaller objects such as 5 dwarf planets and smaller solar system bodies. Okay, but we're not worried about that. We're going to worry about the planets, the 8 planets. The planets in order from the sun goes as follows. Okay, so the sun and then in order from distance, right? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mother Earth here, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And everybody knows in like modern day science, education, Pluto is not considered a planet anymore, but for astrology, it still qualifies as a planet. Now, these planets orbit, meaning go around the sun, right? At their own speed, at their own rate, on their own path. Earth, it's going around the sun too, but also it's constantly spinning as it is orbiting, revolving as it is orbiting, and it also revolves on an axis or tilt. So that's just to paint the picture of the solar system and kind of give you the setting, if you will. So each planet or object or entity, you know what I'm saying, like I said, is orbiting at a different speed and rate. So the combinations of placements of these different planets is like endless. Mental note, the moon is not a planet or a star. Our planet Earth has its own moon that revolves around it. So like I said, as with everything in existence, people, animals, plants, solids, liquids, gases, everything gives off an energy. Okay? So each planet gives off a particular energy or characteristic, okay? And each planet has a specific power and influence, okay? And a specific part of your life and personality, rather, that it governs. For example, the planet Mercury relates or governs to your mind. So it will be what governs your mental outlook. Example, my Mercury when I was born was in the constellation of Aquarius. So that means my mind, the way I think, my mental outlook has all the characteristics and qualities of an Aquarius. So if you think Aquarius is forward thinking, futuristic thinking, all knowing, like I'm very into research, like I'm sitting here talking to you guys about research that I've done. Like I live for research, I crave research, I love to study and research. I need to know everything. I'm nosy. I like to know as much as I can know. And that is Aquarius, all knowing. You see what I'm saying? Okay. It is the placement of these planets in the various zodiac signs that determines how that personality aspect is expressed. I'm going to just talk about each individual part of your natal chart. The entities in the solar system can be broken down into categories. Personal, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. And I'll explain why later. The other group, the social entities or planets, Jupiter and Saturn, and have to do with how you socialize. And the other category would be the collective planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And collective would speak to the oneness, how you correspond with the world, the collective consciousness, everybody being one. So that's the sun, which is a star in its solar system. The other stars, which there are trillions, astrologers and astronomers have put them into groups. There are 12 groups of constellations that the zodiac deals with. because the sun, our sun, the solar system that we exist in, passes through these constellations. But that's why you focus on these 12. Well, actually, it's 13. I'm going to do a separate video directly expressing the 13th constellation and what that means and the whole breakdown of it. So the 12 constellations, more commonly known as the 12 zodiac signs, okay? And they go as follows: Capricornus, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpius, and Sagittarius. The 13th constellation that I'm going to do a separate video about is called Ophiuchus. So each sign can be identified by type, element, and quality, and can be categorized as such. Okay, so categories of 2, the dualities of masculine and feminine. Triplicity, the categories of 3, and that would be the 3 types of signs. You have cardinal, mutable, and fixed. You have quadruplicity, the categories of 4, and that would be categorized by the elements: earth, water, fire, air. And then also the polarities, categories of 6, which is opposites. Each individual sign has a ruling planet. Each individual sign has a creature, or like a mythical creature, a representation, right? I am sun sign Capricorn, and the mythical creature that goes with that is a sea goat. So it's a half goat, half merman. I don't know. It's not really like a fish, but something, a mythical creature. Okay. Each individual sign has a glyph or symbol, and you know those, you're familiar with the emoji, the little purple square, and it gives you the sign. You know what I'm saying? Like Cancer is that 6-9 symbol or glyph. Each individual sign has a dominant keyword. Okay, each individual sign has a connection to the particular part of the body that it rules, and each individual sign has a birthstone, has a color or hue. Each individual sign has a flower, a tree, a city, a country. Each individual sign has a lucky number, a lucky day. Each individual sign has a metal, an animal, and each individual sign has a particular danger, like thing that's prone to, like particular dangers. So now individually, each of the signs, the 12 zodiac signs, can be broken down to 3 sections or parts. So there's 3 sections of each zodiac sign that is referred to as decanates. Each sign has 3 decanates. So like it'll be the first 10 days of the sign, then the middle 10 days, and then the last 10 days. Each sign has about 30 days. And each decanate has its own sub-ruler planet. So you have your zodiac sign and the planet that rules it, and then you would have a sub-ruler depending on what decadent your date falls into. Each sign has 2 cusp period, a cusp at the beginning and at the end of each sign. And a cusp is kind of a mixture of both energies, because both of those energies are still present as they make the transition from one sign to another. You would fall in the cusp of a sign at the beginning of it or at the end of it, about 3 or 4 days. You would be a cusp sign. So you were born during this transition, and you inherited a little of both. So those are all the components of the natal chart. Now your natal chart itself can be divided into equinoxes and solstices, but not going to get too much into that. But what I do want to get into is the 12 houses. Okay, so your natal chart can be broken down to 12 houses, like the 12 zodiac, the 12 month. So each house represents a different aspect of life. A long time ago in ancient times, they broke down life into 12 aspects. Okay? And each house has a natural ruler, a natural zodiac ruler. Okay? And the houses also have cusps. So, first house is yourself, and it's ruled by Aries. Second house is your possessions, belongings, money, okay, these type of things. It's ruled by Taurus. The third house is communication. It's ruled by Gemini. Fourth house is your home, and it's ruled by Cancer. Your fifth house is creativity and sex, ruled by Leo. Sixth house is your service and health, ruled by Virgo. Seventh house is partnership, marriage. It's ruled by Libra. The eighth house is death and regeneration, evolution. It's ruled by Scorpio. The ninth house is your mental exploration. It's ruled by Sagittarius. 10th house is your career, public standing. It's ruled by Capricorn. The 11th house is friends, hopes and wishes, and is ruled by Aquarius. 12th house is your secrets, sorrows, ruled by Pisces. Okay? The houses can be divided into 3 groups. Angular houses, that's going to be the first house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house. The succedent houses, the second house, the 5th house, the 8th house, and 11th house. The cadent houses, okay, the 3rd house, the 6th house, the 9th house, the 12th house. The houses can also be divided into 4 groups. The houses of life, the fire signs, that'll be house 1, house 5, and house 9. Houses of wealth, the earth signs, 2, 6, and 10. The houses of relationships, the air sign 3, 7, and 9. And then the houses of endings, the water signs, houses 4, 8, and 12. These are all of the components. There's a few other things that I'll get into with the natal chart, but those are the main factors and components that make up your natal chart. So with the date and the time and the location of our birth is our natal chart. Okay? So like I said, it's like a picture of that exact same moment in the sky. So just something to think about. The exact same arrangement in the sky at your time and location of birth will not be repeated for an estimated over like 4 million years. I think it was like 4,320,000 years or something. Okay? So that's how unique and we each are. Okay? So another person with the exact like horoscope will not walk the earth for another 4 million years. Okay? And then even if that person, even that person won't be the same as you because of other factors. Okay? So we are very unique, genetics and other factors, right? Even twins, because twins are born minutes apart. Okay? So the ascendant sign actually changes is 1 degree every 4 minutes. Okay? So if twins are born 4 minutes apart, their natal chart will be similar, but it will not be the same, because that shift in a degree shifts the whole natal chart. Their birth chart will be similar, but it won't be exact. Just like twins are similar, they're not the same. So that's like something cool. There's a term called astral twins or time twins, a term to describe and entertaining the possibility of 2 people being born at the exact same time, down to like the second. Okay? In the same country, even same like longitude and latitude, or even the same city, even the same hospital. A very rare phenomenon. But there are like studies and research being done on these time twins or astral twins. It's been going on for years because it's so rare. It rarely happens. it doesn't happen often enough for them to really, get many trials. So in research into the lives and patterns of time twins, the results have been astounding, but at the same time not surprising. So documents show the lives of time twins or astral twins, their lives are eerily similar. Okay, eerily similar, with cases documented like marriages at the same time, the number of kids, and like sex of kids. Like it's very like, yeah. And then other cases of like divorce and like at the same time traveling and like change of jobs and residencies at the same time, and with the same reasons and causes behind why they're doing these things at these times in their lives. And these people have never met, they don't know each other. And then so just a little history on like ancient astrology. So in ancient times, only like people of royalty, only the pharaohs, only the queens and kings, and people of royalty had access and knowledge of like their natal chart, because actual astrologers and astronomers had to put in vigorous time and effort to come up with these natal charts. They didn't have all the technology, and Google and everything that we do. Okay, now you just go on Google with your time, date, and location, you get your natal chart like that. And then even still, you would need an understanding of astrology to interpret your natal chart. The study of astronomy and astrology was more utilized by these rulers, as a tool. They gave them insight on wars and invasions, and they knew if a planet was in a certain sign conjunct another planet, the energy of war was present. And I'll get into more examples of that later. Yeah, so definitely take advantage of Google, guys, and get your natal chart, and just continue to watch these videos as I get deeper and break down everything. The goal that I have is for you to be able to interpret your natal chart and gain so much insight and so much guidance on your journey, and just answer so many questions that there's no other way to get the answers to other than astrology. So that is going to be it for the intro, and everything I spoke on is what you we have to look forward to. So I think the next video will be me expounding upon the planets and what they mean and how that goes. So hopefully I wasn't too long-winded, because I just wanted to get to the point, but also explain it so you can get a full understanding. Okay, so thanks guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back. I'm so excited to do this series, and thank you. I wish I could. I'm gonna figure out the channel name of the person. I know his name, I think his name was Charles for sure, but I'm not sure about his channel name. He was the one who really told me like, yes, please, I would love for you to do a series. And I think you were a sign from the universe, because I literally was in my head like earlier that week, should I do this, should I not do this, and you came and you said do it, and I was like, you know what, that's a sign. Follow the signs, boo. Okay. All right guys, I love you. Bye.